Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, is home to more than 200 million people who are divided among more than 250 ethnic groups. Among these groups is the Fulani, regarded as the world's largest nomadic group. They are majorly pastoralists, with their lives believed to be organized and dominated by the needs of their herds. The Fulani have kept with an age-long tradition of migration, but with climate-induced degradation of pasture and increasing violence in the country's far north, herders have been forced south, contending for scarce land, making it difficult for their cattle to feed.
The space for the herders and the farmers to thrive is shrinking due to the effects of global warming and population expansion. And more importantly, we are now seeing urban to rural expansion before the norm of rural to urban expansion. And the bigger fight in the next 10 years will be the fight for land. Who controls access to land?
Expansion of farms and settlements that swallow up grazing reserves and block traditional migration routes have resulted in encroachment of farms, causing damage to farmers' crops and subsequently violence, with thousands of lives lost to clashes between farmers and herders in communities.
They just come from the bush, hide there, open fire on unsuspecting passers-by or villages, kill, and then they disappear very quickly.
On this fateful day, I went to the farm. While farming, I heard a strange voice. I tried seeking where the noise was coming from when I was hit on head with a cutlass. While struggling from my life with them, they chopped off my left hand before I escaped.
This bomb can be detonated, can be prevented now from exploding. And the way to prevent it is, one, we've all expected the president to talk, and he's not talking. It is for the president to come out. These people, even if they are accusing Fulani, there are some good Fulani, so many good Fulanis. We know that it is not the Fulani, it is the criminals that are from Fulani extraction. Just like we have criminals in the south. You understand? And of course, some Southerners are beginning to negatively exploit this thing to commit the same crime. You understand me? So the president should come out boldly and condemn this act and give security agency the marching order, just like he has been doing as regards Boko Haram. Go and clear that place. As regards the kidnappers, as regards the killers in Kaduna, make sure you get them. The same directive should be given. Right now, security operative is not that they cannot face the challenge, but they are reluctant. The belief is that some person at the top in government are supporting these people, such that when they are arrested, before you know what, they are released on bail. They are not prosecuted. You understand? The like of Sunday Ogowo, look at the old method, trying to fight a battle with charm. That was those days. If you look at the history of old Oyo Empire, they were using charm to fight. We don't do that these days. But if the government did not act, things like that will happen. You see a lot of Sunday Ogowos coming up to say they want to defend themselves, their territory, because they feel the government has failed them.
International human rights organization, Amnesty International, says clashes between farmers and herders have killed more than 3,600 people since 2016, with thousands more rendered homeless. Northern states of Adamawa, Benue, Plateau, Zamfara, Nasarawa, Taraba, Kaduna, Niger, Sokoto, and Kogi have experienced clashes that led to deaths and displacements, inflicting a heavy burden on the military, police, and other security services, distracting them from other important missions, such as countering the Boko Haram insurgency. Southern states like Oyo, Edo, Ebonyi, Rivers, Ondo, and Ekiti have seen gradual increase in such clashes too.
Open grazing should have been stopped since. We are supposed to be growing. Cattle rearing is a private business. It's not government business. It's not a regional business. The fact that a particular tribe is known to be doing cattle rearing does not mean it's an exclusive right of that tribesman. What each state governor can do is to encourage every person to buy and rear cow, just like we are doing in agriculture. Wherever you are, you can plant. If I have a compound, I buy 2 or 3 or 5 and I rear cattle there. If every person is doing that, cattle rearing becomes a general business. This idea of trying to establish law to enable some particular persons to do their business is wrong. Government have no answer in this. If you have your cattle, buy a land or rent a land. I have done to do an agreement for the sale of a cattle ranch in Cameroon. It's a private business. The person I want to buy is a Nigerian, so it's an international contract. It's in one place, very fine. So many cattle, well taken care of. To prevent a catastrophe, government must act now. The moment they see cattle rearing as a private business, I'm a lawyer, you cannot come and make law to enable me practice very well, above and better than other lawyers. No. Government of each state, particularly in the south, should encourage cattle rearing. And it should not be like taking cattle around. No. Get a place.
Open grazing has both security and legal issues. While we say that yes, the right of free movement by any Nigerian to any part of the country is enshrined and protected and provided for in the Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria. Criminal trespass is also a criminal offense. So there's no right that is absolute. Your right to free movement is to the extent also that right does not extend or threatens another person's right. So my right to hold property, to lawfully hold property, my right to peaceable enjoyment of my property cannot in any way or manner be subjugated. And if I do not give you access to my land in which I hold in lawful means, then you don't have any, even the federal government or agents of federal, before they come to effectively an arrest, if you're in your house, they must present you a warrant of arrest. Even the government, all the powers that the government has, the powers of the government are not absolute. So the right of any citizen to free movement is also not absolute. So there are legal issues, there are issues of principle and issues of farming that must be addressed. And I want to say that we would like to see more intellectual arguments from the northern elite on the issues of farming, on mechanized farming, on livestock farming. The National Livestock Transformation Plan, has not been fully implemented. A state like Niger State is the largest state in Nigeria, followed by states like Sokoto, Zamfara, and we have a lot of forest reserve. What we should be asking the northern governments is, what are they doing to ensure that a critical business like livestock farming that produces and employs almost 50 to 60% of their populace, what are they doing in tangible terms to support that business? Or rather than just come on air or go to the free media and make sometimes very flamboyant statements as some of the politicians would make. What are the concrete plans on ground for the headers? And at another day, I will talk about the issues of the headers and how out of a fact, they have been constantly shortchanged by northern politicians and the northern elite. Because all they do is to say, we support you to roam anywhere in Nigeria. But what about providing them infrastructural support in the north to boost their business?
Clamour for ranching has increased. with stakeholders saying that grazing of animals on cattle trails in the 21st century is, to say the least, antiquated. In Benue State, the Open Rearing and Grazing Prohibition Bill, popularly known as Anti-Open Grazing Law, has been signed into law, restricting herders to ranching.
We must enforce the law on ranching. And the only way we can separate the good ones from the bad ones is when we have stock of all herdsmen in Benue State. And I want to advise the federal government to close border on also herdsmen who are foreigners.
In Ondo State, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has not only called for an end to open grazing, but insists that herders vacate forest reserves in the state.
The pointer from the briefing, those are the ones I use. Those who have been kidnapped is that they are using our forest reserves as the area of coordination. Even our farmers will register them. Anybody who wants to now use that place will have to be registered. That is all. We are not saying, and all of us agreed. One, if there are other 4 things, we all agreed. We agreed no night grazing. All of us agreed. Even 2 years ago, we agreed. It's in our own interest. No underage grazing. How do you send a boy of how many years? 10, 11, and you have about almost 100 cows? What will you do? We should not encourage, and we are going to ban grazing in cities. It's not right. And everybody agreed. You want to eat, eat. And I asked, I think I said so that they said, do you eat tar road?
Results are being seen in Benue State, with the anti-open grazing law being enforced. 6 herdsmen have been arrested, and about 400 cows impounded between the 23rd and the 26th of January this year.
Only that we were apprehending cows which were being released to the owners upon paying the fines, but a good number of them have also been prosecuted and sent to correctional centers to serve their terms. And so I want to make it abundantly clear that Benue State government is not in any way intending to abrogate this law. What we are against is open grazing that will allow the animals to stray into farmlands, to destroy farm crops.
He claimed that the cattle that were with him were arrested from his farm. According to him, the previous day, herdsmen came and destroyed his farm. We do not accept that explanation. He's a cattle rustler and he'll be treated as such.
Governors in the southwest states, their northern counterparts, and stakeholders have gathered to tackle increase in cases of kidnapping and other criminal activities in the southwest states.
Are committed to the unity and indivisibility of Nigeria. That insecurity is a national challenge that is not peculiar to any ethnic group or region, but one that must be addressed by the cooperation and collaboration of all. Security agencies have been trying their best to stem the tide of criminality in the country, but they must step up their efforts in this fight. There is need to build partnership for peace and security with MAGBAN and other representatives of ethnic organizations and jointly wage war against criminality.
This thing is not restricted to any particular part of the country. It's all over. Criminal is a criminal, regardless of where it comes from. I think what we are looking at is criminals that are masquerading as S-men. We recognize the fact that every Nigerian has a right to stay anywhere in the country. but you must do legitimate business.
Criminals, the kidnappers, the armed robbers, the bandits, those are our common enemy.
A lot has to be done because you need to reach out. Who are these people? Where are they from? Are they Nigerians? Are they foreigners? Those are things that we should ask. And if we find out that those people, the security operatives have to do a lot. There are so many intelligent work that needs to be done. Because you can't just fight someone without knowing where he's coming from or what he's capable of doing. And if it's among the society, so then we need to flush them out. And all hands have to be on deck. It's not just only the government, even us, the citizens, the people that are governing. We all need, all hands have to be on deck. If you know there's a serious, there's some things that you very strange things around your area, you report, and then so that the security operator will weigh in.
And by the way, our security agents, they are still using the old method of fighting security, where they say there's a problem, yeah, you run giddy giddy. No, you stay in an office, you locate where the problem is, you send drones, you save lives. Why are we not doing that? An American was kidnapped here. Right there in America, they were able to locate the place, send men by craft to that place, terminate the kidnappers, and rescue the American victim. Why are we not thinking about that? You say there's a problem, you arrange police, arrange they start running. So we must look at fighting security through technology and IT sources. Having said this, I believe that it is not late.
In an ever-developing world, new and more efficient ways of doing things are bound to arise. Voices have been raised, calling for modernization of cattle rearing, which many believe will maximize the benefits therein in terms of job creation, food security, and eventually end the vexatious farmers-herders conflicts. Many countries with large populations depend on milk and dairy products to fight hunger, malnutrition, unemployment, and promote social harmony. And these countries do not do open grazing. Cattle is reared within the confines of communities, confined paddocks, and farmers' cooperatives. Animal feed is grown on location or in other farms which specialize in growing them. The milk produced in these farms are collected, pasteurized, and packed in local dairy plants for local and worldwide consumption as infant foods, cheese, yogurt, butter, and other dairy products. In 2017, then Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Audu Ogbe, said cows raised in Nigeria are the worst milk producers in the world. He claims that the average cow in the country produced less than 1 liter of milk per day, compared to those from other countries, where a cow could produce 100 liters per day. Ogbe stated that moving cows from place to place was a major problem affecting milk and meat production in Nigeria, stressing that the earlier farmers started developing ranches for cows, the better for the cow market and its entire value chain.
The real issue is a challenge to food security, and it cuts both ways. Livestock farming in Nigeria is a business that is estimated to be able to bring in over $6 billion in value. And we are caught up in the past when it comes to how we provide ourselves with livestock in Nigeria. We can actually become a net exporter of meat or dairy products also in Nigeria. If you look at what the numbers are saying, if you say data is indicative, you lose the animals themselves, they lose more meat and ability to produce more dairy products by roaming about.
The federal government has now kicked off the National Livestock Transformation Plan, a project which seeks to resettle herders in gazetted grazing reserves and abolish open grazing. The Gongonshi Grazing Reserve in Mayo Belwa local government area of Adamawa is expected to have power, water, schools, and other facilities for the pastoralists. In Nasarawa State, where the program has been approved to kick off, the government is optimistic that it will bring an end to the age-long crisis between farmers and herders.
The federal government is embarking on a program. In fact, we are going to start a pilot scheme in Nasarawa on this, and it's only this morning I got a hint that the funding for that exercise has been approved by the Nazareth government. And not only that, we're embarking on other states, Bauchi, Plateau, and Gombe. In fact, the contract for ranching in Gombe has already been awarded and is being worked. The good thing about Gombe, it is over 200,000 hectares gazetted owned by government. But we are moving also to this particular area.
It's something we have been looking forward to because, like I was saying earlier, Honorable Minister, the National Economic Council actually approved 3 states, Adamawa, Plateau, and Nasarawa State. And so we are happy that out of the 3 states, again, Nasarawa has been selected as the pilot. And you confirm to us that 400, how much is it?
400,000 euros.
400,000 euros have been approved already as the pilot. And we are ready to start that project. And I thank you very much.
The Miati Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria has thrown its weight behind the government, stating it will be beneficial for the herders.
We, the nomadic farmers, what we need presently, we are in support of the livestock transformation plan by the federal government. If properly implemented, the reason why our main problem is how to feed our animal and the health care to take care of those animals. If we are going to get a place where the nomadic farming will be kept in a place, whether in a grazing reserve, we should provide social amenities such as water, even pasture for our animal, with hospitals. What is the essence of moving from one place? There is disadvantages of moving from one place to another.
The Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry says that cattle business contributes about 6.7% to Nigeria's gross domestic product, and noted that if an integration into modern animal husbandry is successful, there will not only be peace for farmers and herders, but a substantive contribution to Nigeria's economy.